Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with the nation. Women, farmers, artisans, others unite for Tinubu. Buhari ready to intervene in ASU's half-salary matter, says Gbajabiamila. Obi threatens to boycott future debates. Nobody can break our ranks, Wike or Tom Makinde insists. Abuja-Kaduna rail service resumes this month. CJN to election tribunal judges, don't be reckless. COP27, United Nations unveils $3 billion plan to achieve early warning systems. I will reclaim my mandate, says Governor Oyetola. Okay, which story are we starting with in the nation?
Labour Party. Yeah. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, has said he will not attend the debate if his counterparts in other parties do not show up. Remember the debate, the town hall meeting that was organized by Arise TV. And this was said by the Director General of the Obidati Campaign Organization, Doyin Okukwe. He said that while he was addressing a newsman yesterday in Abuja. And he said it's very unfair that we've had the vice presidential candidates representing their principles. And if they are not going to get their house in order, make sure that at every town hall meeting, everybody will come and go through a debate, that he will not be presenting himself, that he's ready to do the debate, but he has to do it with his counterpart and not surrogates and vice presidential candidates, and that's how it's going to be. So he's setting the pace on that. If they are ready to have a conversation, everybody must come out in full and have a proper conversation.
I think that's a fair deal. It makes sense.
I agree with you.
You can't have a town hall meeting. And
then it's just one presidential candidate.
Okay, so I have the story. So nobody can break our ranks. Wike Motom Makinde insists. So they're calling themselves the G5. And 5 governors who are insisting that Senator Ayu must step aside at the PDP. The PDP delegate, they were actually all in autumn. They insisted that there was an agreement that Ayu would resign once a northerner emerged as the presidential candidate. It's still an issue within the PDP. And these 5 governors, that's Oyo, Abia, Rivers, Benue, and I think one more state. There's one more state. And they're all insisting that he has to step aside. They say that the crisis rocking the party might get messier if they don't quickly get it resolved. And this is not good for the coming elections because Atiku needs all the support he can get. I mean, I'm really feeling bad for the guy now that all his main guys, all his allies are now leaving him, but he needs them for the elections to actually, because the governors are saying that their followers would not support him if he doesn't make a change concerning the chairman of the party. Okay.
So the CJN yesterday swore in and started the training session for members of the tribunals who will determine all election petitions following the 2023 elections. And he used the opportunity to beg them to comport themselves with utmost care and dignity, saying that they should not be reckless and that they should be guided to, to understand our new season. Election petitions have limitations. They should be answered with the carefulness. Sharp was emphasizing that carefulness. The chairman, INEC, was also there, and he used that opportunity to decry the endless litigations against INEC that continue to impede their activities. So INEC might want to take one decision. One person is in court, sometimes Serap, I don't want to say Serap, but but they are all the time taken to court over every step, even though there are laws backing them. And I agree with the INEC
stopping their work.
Yes, so
it's Serap should take a break. That's what they're saying in anything. Okay, any other story in the nation?
Yes, I was going to take the governor of Osun State saying, I will reclaim my mandate. He didn't say it like that, but he said, I will reclaim my mandate. He lost the election in July 16th for Osun State to the PDP. And his conversation was that he was speaking in Abuja yesterday at the National Secretary. He was speaking in Abuja, and he said that Osun State has always been a progressive state, and that Osun would deliver 1 million votes for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I wonder how that math would work, because according to the last election that was conducted in July, 403,000 votes went for PDP, and APC, that's Governor Oyetola, got 372,000 votes. So how would he now deliver 1 million votes? But that's his promise. He also mentioned that he has taken the case to court, and he's sure that his mandate would come to him, saying that there was overvoting in a few polling polling units, and there was a bypass of the bimodal voters accreditation system, BVAS, of the INEC, which is supposed to detect fraud. So if they bypassed it and there was confirmed overvoting, he feels his mandate will come to him. The case is in court and we're waiting what the tribunal will say.
Moving on to the Punch, 2023 elections, INEC laments tough times. Day 139, daughter in court, Igwe still imprisoned. LASMA can't arrest motorists on roads without signs, says Commissioner. Low enrollment, migration, flooding hurts Ogun village schools. Suspense as ASU ESCO meeting runs into midnight. Why North is wrong about restructuring, says Eziefe. Bauchi governor demands Atiku's apology. Terror, UK wants citizens to avoid 22 states. Okay.
So the United Kingdom has advised its citizens against traveling to 22 states in Nigeria. And they said they had a press release by the British High Commission. They titled it Updated Foreign Commonwealth Development Office Travel Advice to British Nationals Traveling to the FCT. And in that, they said one of the reasons they're doing this is to help their nationals make better judgments and informed decisions whenever they are traveling. So the statement read, FCDO travel advice exists to inform British nationals so that they can make decisions about traveling abroad. There continue to be a number of states in Nigeria where we advise British nationals against all but essential to travel. And they mentioned some of the states, Bauchi, Kano, Jigawa, Niger, Sokoto, Kogi, Abia, Plateau, Taraba, within 20 kilometers of the border with Niger and Kebbi State and non-riverine areas of Delta, Bayelsa, and River State. When I saw all the states, there were other states mentioned like Borno, Yobe, Adamawa. Exactly. So they should just say, don't come to Nigeria at all. But these threats that they have been constantly warning their people, I'm not saying that. We are living in some of these states, and I'm not saying that, so I don't know.
Okay, so I was going to take the story.
Yes, Bauchi, one of the states that they've said there's a lot of threats going on there. The governor of Bauchi, Senator Bala Mohammed, has said that he has issues with the flag bearer of PDP, said that he was appointed the PDP Presidential Campaign Council Vice President and that he's been sidelined and he's going to teach the presidential candidate is going to teach the presidential candidate a lesson because he's been sidelined. So we recollect May 28th, the primaries took place within the PDP and Atiku won by over 300 votes, while Senator Bala Mohammed got 20. But he wrote the letter now to the party chair. The controversy around Ayub aside, that if Atiku does not come and apologize to him, he is going to teach Atiku a lesson. There's so much going on.
I mean, this is just one guy, Atiku. I mean, come on, man.
There's a whole lot.
The guy has an election to win. He has an election with me. It was just cut his
He has an election to run. He cannot even start
he has an election to run. So much. Anyways, there was a meeting. There was an interagency consultative committee on election security in Abuja yesterday, where the chairman of INEC was saying that they had the floods will run about 20 of the INEC buildings, and they're having issues in having those buildings rehabilitated in time for the elections. According to him, also they're having issues with the destruction of INEC equipment, and also as a result of the NSAS that happened a while back, and also the activities of unknown gunmen in the southeast. So they're having issues with the facilities and the equipment, and they're asking for, obviously, they need funds to get these things done before the elections start. According to him, INEC is assessing loss of materials to attacks within the preliminary assessment, indicating that 11 offices, 1,105 ballot boxes, 694 voting cubicles, 429 electric generating sets, and 30 utility vehicles have all been lost and some destroyed. That's a lot of stock to get replaced before February. I don't know how they're going to do it, but that's part of what the chairman was saying to the committee yesterday at the meeting. Any other story?
So I wanted to take the Commissioner for Information in Lagos State, saying that he cannot believe that, or that LASMA cannot arrest motorists on roads without signs. And he said that he cannot believe the allegations or causing speculations that Lagosians are saying that some officials remove the road signs, and then when you go in, they arrest them and pull back the signs or something like that, that he doesn't believe it. He thinks that there are mere speculations because people cannot, they have never pointed out one official who did that to him. So, Legosha, your new assignment,
Is
any
to be
official you
pointing them
cash, if you have a car cam, or what do you call it, the camera in your car, or you can catch them on your phone, that's your new assignment, because our commissioner doesn't think that this happens, but
Nobody knows about it.
Happen.
Think about it.
Wow.
They tell you, oh, they removed it and put it back. You didn't see them. Oh. It's all hearsay. They said, she said.
Morayo.
No.
Listen.
That's not it.
Let us be clear.
Okay.
You see, I've never seen one person remove a sign and put it back.
No, I've not seen.
Many of us, they say it. Somebody say, I don't mind them. Well, last one, they removed the sign, they put it back.
Morayo.
We have not. What I think he's saying.
Can I land my point so you understand better? No, what you're defending is unnecessary.
I'm not defending.
Okay, what you're trying to explain is unnecessary. So if there's a one-way here and there's a last month official there, your duty is to be, just as we said to the road safety official yesterday, at the beginning of that road and say, that's a one-way you can't go.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yes.
So a person is trying to turn, you say, no, continue, one way. That's your duty as an official, not to go and lay sage. And the person misses the sign or
And
they
then
don't
they
see the
come
sign. Most times, there are no signs. When, the day before my dad died, I was in such a situation in Yaba.
No, so
We're not
there was
arguing that
you are
part.
doing a different thing.
Yes,
No,
it's a totally
what you are
different
saying is different thing. I am focusing on what this man said.
Which is
If you
that
don't see a sign,
people
listen,
carried.
there are two.
If you do not see a sign, it's not
there.
there.
Are two different things.
Yes.
What you said is valid. What I'm saying is that if you don't see a sign, they're saying they're accusing somebody of removing a sign.
Because he wants to arrest
Because
people.
arrest. So the man is saying, if you have not seen, which is not true.
If you see them
I want
removing
them
the
to
sign,
see
explain.
people.
Can I use this situation to explain?
I'm not disputing what you're saying. I'm just saying that what this man is
Let
saying.
me just explain.
You did-
So
you
you go
explained
into
already.
the road and then you turn back and say, even Google was saying there was, and I didn't see the sign. And then you say, Madam, there's a sign now. And suddenly there's a sign. I'm like, this sign wasn't there earlier. You missed it. Pack.
It's
we're
different
going.
from when somebody
So who
picks
puts
up-
back the sign that wasn't there earlier?
Good question. Very good
what-
question.
but-
how would you assume is an officer that removed it and put it
Because
back?
the officer is the one arresting you.
Let's go on a break. Let's move. I don't want us to talk like the average.
not finished the
I
report.
don't want us to talk like the average
They
man on the
carry out
street.
reports.
No,
We must
no,
speak.
you've experienced it.
No.
You would understand it.
What I'm saying is that we must speak
tend to
above
just believe,
what
yes.
people say on the streets. If on the street, they will remove it. We shouldn't be talking like that.
It's been
we
in
should
the
let,
paper.
we should leave that
People have
point.
been commenting.
And be
Punch did
speaking like
a real
proper thing. If I don't
interview.
see an official remove an official, and I would not project my Nigerian police as removing a sign or my Nigerian last man. I wouldn't do that. I want to have evidence of that before I make it up. That's the point I'm trying to make. Let's go on a break. We'll be right back. We're going to move on now to Daily Sun. Major crisis looms in Atiku campaign. Insecurity, flooding threat to food, economic growth, and defense, says Mr. Defense Minister. Troops wreak havoc in Abuja, in Abia Community. Ohafia over alleged missing soldier. Insurgency, military operations yielding positive results, says NSA. I'll not condone act of recklessness. CGN wants 2023 election tribunal members. Ekweremado's UK trial now to hold January 2023. Obi won't participate in further mixed debate, says campaign council. Tinubu to farmers, you return to your farms. Climate change, Bill Gates Foundation pledges $1.4 billion champions protection for small-scale farmers. Abuja-Kaduna train service back this month. Government denies anti-Southeast agenda on narrow gauge rail project. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, Tinubu met with the presidential candidate of the APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, met with the farmers in Mina yesterday, and I love the fact that, he went to a select group of people to, to establish what his manifesto would be like and how it affects them. He talked about, let me quote him, he said, I sympathize with you who have been victims of the flood ravaging the country and will be on your side to implement all our programs and keep your promises, our promises to you farmers. You are the lifeblood of the nation and we guarantee you to be our brothers' keepers. And he says that the Bank of Agriculture will be positioned in such a way to give farmers access to loan to, to boost local production. And he talked about how access to loan will also be given to those in animal husbandry business to also boost local production. They are looking to increase local production and curb importation of food and exploitation through improved farming activity. Export through improved farming activity. So we are looking at local production and export of locally produced farm foods outside the country. This, for me, is a major goal. If we are diversifying, let's diversify
properly.
Let's diversify properly and grow our economy. And I'm also looking that, you know, his administration further looks into local production to producing complex products, processing and all of that, so that we're not just exporting
packaging, manufacturing,
raw materials.
Yeah, amazing. So, soldiers of 14th Brigade, Nigerian Army, Ohafia, Abia State, were reported to have on Thursday last week invaded Amangwu community in Ohafia Local Government Area over alleged missing of a soldier on leave. They said over 10 people were allegedly killed, 50 houses reported to have been razed down because of this. And according to the story, they said this particular soldier was on leave, and so he decided to visit his village, Ikun, in Cross River State. And on his way, allegedly, he got missing. They say he got missing between Amuma, Ohafia, and Amangwu, about 3 kilometers away from Amangwu. And in the search process, these soldiers, you know, barged into the village and started, you know, shooting sporadically into the air. They were going into houses, dragging people out, taking them away. Some of them, they are still missing till this moment. They were invading, you know, taking things, properties, destroying everything. And the village has been, like, a lot of people have been running helter-skelter. Businesses were not able to hold. One particular woman said she was coming back to visit her husband, to bury her husband that died. She wasn't able to go into the village to take the corpse. You know, people ran away from their businesses, and everything is just in disarray. I want to hear what the state government is saying about this at this moment.
Anyway, we have news from the National Security Advisor, still within the military, that they are recording positive results from the onslaught against insurgency. He was speaking at the annual conference for defense advisors and attaches in Abuja. Major General Babagana Mugunu mentioned that he listed the major challenges that the military is battling, which is insurgency, terrorism, secessionist, illegal oil bunkering, banditry, kidnapping, cattle rustling, amongst others. And he said that the Northeast as well as the Northwest has recorded major calm in the challenges they've been facing, that we could also clearly see evident in the mass surrender of terrorists and sympathizers, particularly in the Northeast, that it shows that the military is strengthening its resolve in bringing peace to most parts of Nigeria.
Okay, moving on to Vanguard. 2023, why Tinubu won't attend debate, says Keyamo. Worst floods coming next year, says federal government. We work like elephants, eat like ants, says Lagos bus drivers. 2023 poll. Over 600 cases in court against INEC, says Yakubu. ICPC probes 712 projects in 20 states, begins disposal of forfeited assets. 5 years in office, Akeredolu, Jegede disagree on performance. PDP crisis. Why Atiku won't have my support, says Otom. Terror alert. UK drops warning against travel to Abuja, insists risks remain. Train attack. FG set to resume Kaduna-Abuja service. And ASU have salary payment, but Jabela sues for peace. Okay, which story are we starting with?
The train, Kaduna-Abuja train corridor, you know what happened in March, and services were suspended. But now the Minister of Transportation, Muazu Jaji Sambo, announced in Abuja yesterday that they are about to resume business on that track. And he says that the government has learned many lessons from what happened and also adopted many measures to make sure that they prevent future attacks and, you know, give the customers a sense of security. So he said they promised that they were not going to, you know, resume till all the passengers had been rescued. And finally, all the passengers have been rescued. But now, one of the things they are going to be doing is that they are going to provide 24-hour security monitoring system to ensure constant real-time surveillance, and also pray to God that this kind of thing will not happen again because they've learned lessons from the attack. Now, aside from the constant surveillance, a constant monitoring on daily basis, weekly, monthly, as each train leaves and returns, and that will be possible, you know, to ensure that there's a smooth flow and passengers are safe.
I hope that gains trust for passengers. But DG NEMA, the National Emergency Management Authority, has, while appearing before the Senator Yusuf led Senate Committee on Special Duties to defend the 2023 budget, said that, you know, another flood is coming in 2023. And he's using the opportunity to ask the Senate and the other lawmakers to help them appeal to state governments. They say that they've been sending letters to state governments. They've written to them even to prepare for the rains which failed and affected most states in 2022, that 2023 will be bigger. And the state government need to start to set up state emergency management and local emergency committees and fund those committees adequately to prepare for the rains. I'd like to use the opportunity to add my voice to say that state governments should start to use ecological funds given to them to dredge their canals and prepare for the rains. I have seen it work in Lagos that, people prepare for the rains. If rain is coming, you dredge your water channels and clear them and prepare for the rain so that you can avert floods and worse damages and loss.
When we talk about flooding, we talk more about the agriculture, but UNICEF released reports that the flooding has also heavily affected school enrollment. Many children are not going back to school because they can't get to the school. The schools are flooded and
roads are even washed off.
Yes.
In Bielsa, for instance, roads have been washed off. So the loss is too huge for us to not prepare. So save money.
Okay, that's all we can take on the front page review. When we come back, we want our hot topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.